Why Occultist? Occultist in specific works best for this because it has better healing than the Zealot, better damage than the Druid, and faster healing than the Druid. Compared to the Zealot, who only has 2 ways to heal, Occultist has 3. Additionally, the Occultist is better built for crit healing. Because the holy damage bonus of the Zealot's tome is amazing, a Zealot player is effectively forced to be using it. An Occultist, on the other hand, is free to use the Cultist Book of Omens, which gives an insane 15% crit chance. And with good crits, you're not even that much worse at dealing damage. Compared to a Druid, far better damage. Obviously. Mind Blast gives you one AoE option that's pretty much always available, and Curse Flux is an extra second one. And while Nature's Gift from the Druid is really good, it relies on specific types of teammates in order to have the best use. Like if you have a Drifter on your team, fair enough, it's really good in that case. But without that, there's not many teammates who are really going to be utilizing that to the point where it's better than an Occultist just directly dealing AoE. Finally, specifically, faster heals than the Druid. What do I mean by that? You see, the Druid is the best healer because they're overall healing the most, but they're not always healing you on the spot. Half of Druid's healing capabilities comes from the regen effect. Regen is great, but it's not instant, and it isn't affected by crit healing. You, as the Occultist on the other hand, have 3 direct heals. A crit heal in the dungeons heals for around 30 HP, which is huge, no matter what your teammate's HP is. So in an emergency, if you've used a lot of resources, you're way more likely than the Druid to have a heal on hand to save someone. Now, here's exactly what the build is. Priest with the Occultist subclass. Race, you're going to pick Elf. For Boons, you're going to need Critical Healing and Energy Conserver. Energy gain is useful to land your attacks earlier, and as an Elf, all your energy gain is converted slightly into crit chance. As a Priest, we need High Faith to be effective, but we're also going to be taking extra crit chance wherever we can find it convenient. Your role on the team is going to be a healer and a sub-DPS. You do have a ton of healing, but it's best if you get a little bit of extra healing from another source. This could be a Zealot, a Bard, even a Blood King because they have Siphoning Mark. Keep in mind the effects that are going to be applied by your Occultist heals. They can be dangerous, but they're usually not very much. Be aware of enemy status effects. Damage output. Mind Blast isn't the highest damage ever, but it's very reliable. You'll always have it by turn 2, and it's dealing an average of 30-ish per enemy. For nuking though, you'll be doing great. Nightmare has good damage, but it also applies Fractured, which is insanely good. And Bane is always going to be good because it also adds on Vulnerable, and some Cripple. Both of them are pretty affordable, and especially affordable considering that you're an Elf who has a lot of energy gain. You're only one person, so you can only expect to be doing so much, but you're doing a damn lot if you're critting. Finally, gear that you're going to need to make this build work. First off, Nedyak needs to die. He drops a Frock, which gives you good energy gain and 5% crit damage, and he has the Tome, which gives you 15% crit chance. Second, if your team's able to, get the Monocle, whether that be through the Gobstop or the Caravan. The 10% crit damage and possible crit chance that give you are extremely good for this build, and worth the Charm slot. Those are the only 2 key items that you need to make this build work, and you could even make it work with just 1 out of 2. Once you get either of them, start shredding. As an Occultist, Master is one of the worst fights you can take, because it's the only one in the game that will take so long that you end up burning yourself to death with your own chaotic stacks. But not this time. Now, through all this, there is the obvious caveat that a lot of Occultist abilities have a bit of RNG to them. But on average, a crit healing Occultist will destroy. I think too many people are scared of taking that risk of something could possibly go wrong if you have an Occultist on your team. But think about the bigger picture. Out of the list of about 60 status effects, it's been discovered that about 20 of them don't do anything because they disappear right as that person's turn starts. Most of the time it will be a weak little damage over time effect that'll do 3 to 7 damage. Not too bad because you're healing it back anyways. And the only two real dangerous ones are gonna be Stun and Blood Plague. 2 and 60. And even then, if you get stunned, you're still healing about 30 HP back, so you'll survive. And with that in mind, considering how much you're just raw healing for the team, you're not that dangerous. And with that high of a crit chance, against any singular boss, you're going to obliterate them. So once you look at the bigger picture, Crit Occultist is a build that does anything. AoE, support, nuking, heals. So go out there and roll the dice. The odds have always been in your favor.